What's up, Leafs fans, and welcome back to Leafs Digest. Now, I got to thinking, I started seeing that the St. Louis Blues were looking around at moving Vladimir Tarasenko, but that kind of isn't their only problem at this point in time. And then I was trying to think about what the Leafs need moving forward, what kind of pieces they'd be looking for, what kind of prices they'd be looking for guys at here. And then on top of that, what guys in this lineup could we potentially move on from to improve our team either prior to or during this season? And now, as St. Louis was in the news and I was looking around and nosing around St. Louis, I did happen to notice that there's one guy that I really think the Leafs should try to acquire, and no, it is not Vladimir Tarasenko. I personally believe the Leafs should make an effort to acquire Robert Thomas. And now he's a restricted free agent, and a offer sheeting a restricted free agent would come with a lot, and I mean a lot, of compensation. Draft picks, prospects, whatever the case may be. The Leafs don't have the ability to give that up. What they do have is players who could fit into St. Louis's cap and could potentially meet the needs of the St. Louis Blues as they move forward and try to retool this team on the fly. Robert Thomas is a restricted free agent, and they only have about $1 million left in cap space after they signed Jordan Kyrou to a $2.2 million contract out of his restricted free agency. So Robert Thomas currently sits without a contract heading into this season, and personally, I think this is a guy the Leafs should try to acquire. He's from Toronto. He's 22 years old. He's 6 foot, 187 pounds, and he's a center/right winger with a right-handed shot. The Leafs are lacking right-handed shots, not necessarily right wingers, but they are lacking right-handed shots, and they could potentially look to upgrade their third-line right wing or fourth-line right wing, or even move a guy into center if need be. If you could move Kampf down to fourth-line center, have him play third-line center minutes if you got to put him on penalty kill, or you need him matching up against the best players on the other team for his defensive role, that's fine. But if you can put him on the fourth line and move Robert Thomas into that third line center position, I think this team is in a much, much better position. Now, you have prospects coming up who are goal scorers who can do that. Rodion Amonov, very skilled guy. Nick Robertson, very skilled guy. But what this team is really seems to be missing is guys who can get points and have a lot of jam while also being able to just play the game. Nick Ritchie is a guy that we went out and acquired on a good price, who, yes, he is a big body and he goes out there and he hits guys and he beats guys down. He doesn't get that many points. He's not necessarily lacking in the point department, but he's not going to blow you away. Robert Thomas, 22 years old, center/right winger. This guy was a 2017 first rounder for St. Louis, and let me just run through some of his stats really quick. His rookie season in the NHL, 2018-19, he only played 70 games, just fighting his way into the lineup a little bit, got 9 goals, 24 assists for 33 points, and a .47 point per game average. He's only improved, other than last year, in the COVID year, which was a weird year for everybody, and he was injured for a little bit, an arm injury as well, so it's going to take a little bit to get used to that, get comfortable getting back on the ice. But 2019-2020, 66 games played, 10 goals, 32 assists, 42 points for a .63 points per game average. And then, as I mentioned, 2020-2021, 33 games played, 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points, .36 points per game average. But this is a guy that, yes, I understand the Leafs are basically out of cap room. Like, there's not much they can do here. But there's guys that we don't necessarily need in this lineup and we could look to move on from in a trade situation. He's a restricted free agent without a contract, and I think he would come in under $3 million or approximately around $3 million if that's the case. But if St. Louis can't get this done, why would we not go out and acquire a guy like this and attempt to extend him on a contract for a potentially long term, a guy who's from here as well, and move out pieces that we don't need in this lineup, the guys that are excess in this lineup, like Pierre Engvall, Ilya Mikheyev, Alex Kerfoot, Travis Dermott, and some of these prospects that we have on the way who may not be able to get into this lineup right now. And the other thing I look at here is, yeah, it's kind of scary to move on from prospects because they're guys who are going to be coming up. But if the guy is only 22 years old and we know what he is and what his trajectory is, why would we not go out and acquire him and move him into this lineup? This is just like, let's just run through some of these other things and tell me if you think that these are not things that would be very important or very helpful to this Leafs team moving forward. This guy is a winner at every single level he's ever played in. Minor hockey provincial champion, Canadian Hockey League Memorial Cup champion, OHL champion 2 times, OHL playoff MVP, a World Junior gold medalist, and a Stanley Cup champion. A Stanley Cup champion in his rookie season in the NHL. By the time he was finished being a rookie, the only thing left he has on his resume at this point is essentially an Olympic gold medal, which is very, very possible if players end up getting back into the Olympics and world championships. He could go win golds there. Triple Gold Club is very much in this guy's future. But why would we not go out there and acquire a physical, strong center/right winger who's young, who we can get at a decent deal for maybe a couple years and then extend him after that and keep him here? And the other thing I want to keep in mind here is that Memorial Cup that he won, he was playing with Mitch Marner. Like, not on his line, but he was playing on the team with Mitch Marner. So you have some familiarity. They played together in London. They know each other well. They've been around each other for a little bit. They got to grow up together, essentially playing in the OHL, becoming men, becoming professional hockey players, graduating into that. This is a guy from Toronto. He's a winner. He can score goals. He can get points. He can play solid minutes on that third line right wing, third line center, whatever you need. He's a right-handed shot, which just adds to the diversity of this offensive lineup. And he's not necessarily a guy who's going to go out there and just light up the scoreboard, but it is something that he has the potential to do. I think he's a guy that would fit well into this lineup. And if you could move on from pieces that St. Louis would potentially look to acquire, where they're trying to retool and figure this thing out as it goes, and maybe they can't fit him in here, or they don't necessarily know if they see a future with him, why would you not go knocking on that door to see if they'd be looking for a guy like Pierre Engvall, who's on a cheap deal, Ilya Mikheyev, another cheap deal, Travis Dermott, another cheap deal, or if they're looking for an Alex Kerfoot, why would you not move on from him and fill in Robert Thomas into another one of those center positions? I think this is a guy the Leafs should go out and acquire. Vladimir Tarasenko, yeah, pretty name. He's been on the cover of NHL video game, whatever. He's not the guy this Leafs team needs. They need winners. They need guys who can play center, right wing. They need right-handed shots into this lineup, and they need young guys who could be a part of this program moving forward. Leafs fans, if you guys are out there, if you guys are looking at this, we're looking for guys who can win and guys who have won a Stanley Cup in their rookie season in the NHL. This guy knows what he's doing. This guy knows how to do it. He's obviously a pro. He's been around Tyler Bozak as well, who by all accounts is an incredible leader, an incredible mentor. Robert Thomas is a guy that we should be looking at to acquire if we're going to look at improving this team before the season starts, or even potentially as this season starts. So Leafs fans, keep your eyes out for Robert Thomas out there. I think he's a guy we should go and get. If not, way she goes. We battle into this season. I think we have a good roster ahead of us. But if we're looking to improve this team, I think we should go out and acquire Robert Thomas. So until the next video, Leafs fans, keep believing.